So, I would never bash anyone, but if I make a joke, it's like, come on, you can take it. I was the butt of your jokes. Just take it. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Torrei Hart is in the news again, and this time she's allegedly spilled some tea that has got the internet buzzing with excitement. Torrei's purported revelations come on the back of her ex-husband's longtime with Hart-Williams, and the internet is loving every second of it. What did Torrei Hart say, and how is it affecting her relationship with her ex-husband? Torrei Hart, the former wife of comedian Kevin Hart, courted controversy when she decided to tour with the nemesis of her ex-husband, Hart-Williams. According to Tori, she's been friends with Katt for years, and so when he came calling, she couldn't turn it down. She announced the tour when she shared a picture of her and Hart-Williams on social media, accompanied by the tour date. Tori captioned the photo, "Come see my live with my good friend on the Dark Matter tour." Many fans who saw the post concluded that Tori had betrayed her ex-husband by joining forces with Katt. They felt she should have stuck with Camp Hart through thick and thin and not jumped ship at the slightest opportunity. Others also felt that Kevin Hart betrayed Torrei by divorcing her for Eniko Parrish. Thus, Torrei was justified in doing the same. They surmised that joining Hart-Williams' tour was her way of avenging the pain she suffered when Kevin left her for Eniko.
Kevin Hart done went 25 years.
Hart-Williams and Kevin Hart have been on each other's neck for decades, with the most reason and probably the highlight of the being Katt's interview on Club Shay Shay. According to the seasoned comedian, Kevin was a plant by the powers that be to control the narrative. He claimed that Kevin came out of nowhere to star in his own movies and perform on big stages. He continued that Kevin hadn't sold out any of his shows and questioned his credibility as a comedian. Kevin also responded with some salvos of his own, telling Hart-Williams to grow up and out of jealousy for him. So, given the back and forth between the two heavyweight comedians, it was a bit of a surprise when Torrei Hart agreed to feature on Hart-Williams' tour. After all, Torrei shares 2 children with Kevin, Heaven, and Kendricks, and the two have agreed to co-parent the children, which means they meet occasionally. What is even more surprising is the fact that Torrei is doing well as a stand-up comedian. Although she's done a couple of shows and has been on the circuit, many didn't expect to see her doing stand-up comedy with the likes of Hart-Williams. So given all of this information, it is easy to see why fans would purport that Torrei Hart was about to unleash messy secrets about her former husband, especially when Kevin Hart has used Torrei in many of his previous sets. A few years ago, during one of his sets, the comedian joked about not regretting his decision to divorce Torrei Hart. He also once quipped, "Yes, people, I cheated. Am I ashamed of it? No, I'm not," he infamously said during Kevin Hart. "Let me explain. Do I wish I could take it back? No, I don't." So, having been the butt of many of Kevin's jokes over the years, fans feel it's Torrei's time to push back. Torrei herself echoed the fans' sentiments when she claimed that Kevin should be able to stomach her joke, especially since she's been doing the same for years. In an interview with Dish Nation in 2018, Torrei Hart claimed, "I used to be the butt of all of his jokes, and I don't care. Life is funny and everything, so just have fun. I would never bash anyone, but if I make the joke, it's like you can take it. I was the butt of your jokes, so just take it. It's okay." Many fans feel Katt and Torrei are about to stage the comedic circuit of fire as they tour the United States. Since both of them have a bone to pick with Kevin Hart, it won't be surprising to see them use him in their materials, and in doing so, they may spill some hot tea about the comedian. Fans who watched Torrei Hart's interview were happy for her and thanked Hart-Williams for giving her a chance when her ex-husband wouldn't. One elated fan wrote, "How her baby daddy never helped her career, but Hart-Williams does? Wow, checkmate." One material that Torrei is expected to use in her routine is her claim that Kevin cheated on her with Eniko Parrish while they were still married, a claim that Eniko has denied. According to Torrei, Kevin Hart was seeing Eniko when their divorce was yet to be finalized. Eniko herself also posted a message on social media that inadvertently confirmed Torrei Hart's suspicions. On their first wedding anniversary, Eniko posted a picture of her and her husband with a heartfelt message celebrating the occasion. She wrote, "I'm grateful to God every day for putting us together. When it's real, no love bond can ever be faked nor broken. My partner in life, my other half that makes me whole, my soulmate. Thank you for always keeping a smile on my face. I love you more every day. 8 years together. 0.1 year married. Forever to go." However, eagle-eyed fans pointed out that Torrei and Hart got divorced 6 years ago, so Eniko's maths wasn't adding up. If they've been together for 8 years when Kevin was only divorced for 6, then it only means that he was cheating with Parrish while still married to Torrei. In a bid to cover her apparent slip-up, Eniko Parrish claimed that Torrei and Kevin were living in separate homes before she came into the picture. She commented, "Their marriage was broken way before I came in the picture. They were separated, living in separate homes. I was never a secret." However, fans didn't buy that explanation, as they felt that Eniko should have waited for the divorce proceedings to end before dating dating the comedian. In an attempt to explain the situation away, she dug herself further into the hole. According to her, the cheating rumors were spread by Torrei Hart years ago because she wanted to play a victim and not own up to her own mistake. She continued that Torrei was just bitter because her relationship with Kevin stuck even though the comedian was seeing other women. Eniko insisted that she never wrecked any home and that Torrei, by her own hand and machinations, destroyed her own home. These comments by Eniko drew the anger of Torrei, and she responded in equal measure. She explained that she usually doesn't prey on such news because they have made great strides by uniting to take care of the children. Indeed, there are several pictures and videos of Torrei Hart with Kevin, Eniko, and the children to back up her claims. Thus, either Eniko responded truthfully to the fans' questions or just let them be. She said, "Eniko, sweetheart, normally I don't feed into this, but when you addressed me directly, you forced my hand to respond. We have made successful strides to become a loving co-parenting family, but you have now left it open for my character to be questioned. You, Kevin, and I know the truth. So, either respond truthfully or don't respond at all." Parrish deleted the comments under her post, but that didn't stop Torrei from speaking her mind when she was interviewed by TMZ. In the interview, the comedian explained that she wasn't prepared to discuss her issues publicly, but Eniko forced her to. She didn't want her children to read the headlines one day and think she was a liar. She said, "She forced my hand to address this publicly. The most important thing to me is my children. So if my children see something she's writing that makes me look like a liar, no." She further explained that she had no with Kevin and his new wife, and that she was happy for them. She continued that her kids were happy in the marriage, and that was all that mattered to her. "I told them before I'm happy for them. They're about to have a baby. My kids are very happy that they have siblings on the way. I'm honestly happy for them, so I don't understand where all this is coming from." Torrei then called for unity, as the back and forth bickering wouldn't help the family. "Let's be a family for real, because at the end of the day, we're stuck with each other. So let's just make it happy." Many fans praised Torrei for her maturity and desire to see the family united rather than torn apart by social media. Though she was hurting because of what Kevin did to her, Torrei was gracious enough to wish well for Kevin and his new wife. But fans couldn't say the same for Eniko. They criticized her for breaking someone's home and blaming her for it. They also bashed her for openly discussing the matter on social media instead of dealing with it privately. Fans advised Eniko to be gracious because if Kevin cheated on Torrei, he would do the same to her. Fans didn't have to wait long, as news soon broke that Kevin had cheated on her with one woman in Las Vegas. Before then, there were rumors circulating on social media about Kevin's affairs, but none stuck as there was no concrete evidence to back up the claims. A few years ago, Kevin Hart recorded a video saying he was being extorted. "I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I have a target on my back, and because of that, I should make smart decisions, and recently, I didn't." The comedian continued, "I'm not going to allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes, and in this particular situation, that was what was attempted," he said. "I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes." Kevin Hart apologized to his wife, Eniko, for his indiscretion and hoped it wouldn't happen again. He also apologized to his wife for not paying off the suspect, who eventually released the video. In the video, a man who appeared to be Kevin Hart was seen with another woman getting cozy in a club in Las Vegas. It then cuts to an image of an empty bed, but the creaking sounds of the mattress and springs can be heard. The woman in the video was identified as Montia Sabag, a model and aspiring actress who admitted to getting intimate with Kevin Hart. She became the prime suspect as the one behind the extortion attempts, but she denied those allegations. In a statement released through her lawyer, Sabag indicated, "I was involved with Kevin Hart a month ago. Since then, my pictures and my name have been released with lies written about me." She continued, "Montia is a crime victim. Someone apparently snuck cameras into Kevin Hart's private hotel suite in Las Vegas and recorded bedroom images of the two of them." Sabag explained that she wasn't a stripper or extortionist, as purported by certain sections of the media, but she just had a good time with the comedian, knowing fully well he was married. "I'm not an extortionist, I'm not a stripper," Sabag said. "I have not broken any laws. I had nothing to do with these recordings." Sabag also denied the rumors making rounds that she intended to sue the comedian. According to the model, "We are not suing him. We are not making any claims against him. Any reports to the contrary are false. Kevin Hart appears to be the victim of this criminal, just as Montia is a victim of this criminal." Kevin Hart's apology video sent the internet into a frenzy, with many people criticizing him for his indiscretion and lack of restraint. Others, too, were happy that finally Torrei Hart had been vindicated. They pointed out that Kevin cheated because he wanted to, and not because Torrei was a bad person. Fans wondered whether Eniko would blame herself for Kevin's extramarital affairs when she had blamed Torrei Hart for the same thing. Interestingly, Eniko found out about the situation from an unlikely source. Narrating the incident on Kevin Hart's docuseries on Netflix, Eniko indicated that she found out about her husband's affair when an unknown source sent her the video. According to her, she was having breakfast when a message popped up on her phone. On opening it, he saw her husband and a lady getting comfortable with each other. "I don't know who it was," said Eniko. "They sent me an edited video of Kevin and another woman. I was pregnant at that time. I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant and I was having breakfast and I opened my phone and immediately I just lost it. I called him. I'm crying. I'm like pissed. Right then and there, I just kept saying, 'How the F did you let that happen?'" She explained that Hart's illicit affair humiliated her, as the news was all over social media, with many of Torrei's supporters coming for her head. "You publicly humiliated me. Everything is on Instagram. Everything is on social media." So it was an ongoing fight all the time, every single day. I kept questioning him like, "If this is what you want to do, I don't want to be a part of that." At the time, Eniko was 8 months pregnant, so the news and the social media frenzy that followed took a toll on her health. However, she found the strength to pull through the ordeal and decided to give her husband a second chance. However, she cautioned her husband that he'd only get up to 2 strikes, after which she could call it quits. "It was a lot for me, but we've been through it, we've gone through it, we passed it, and he's a better man now because of it. I believe in second chances. I'm all about forgiveness, and you only get 2 times. 3 strikes, you're out of here. So as long as he behaves, we're good." Meanwhile, the FBI started investigations into the person behind the leaked video and the extortion attempts on Kevin Hart. Though the woman at the center of the controversy, Montia Sabag, denied having a hand in the attempts, she was the FBI's prime suspect. Fans thought she had the motive to perpetuate such a crime because she envisaged she could make a few million off the comedian. However, fans were surprised when the FBI named Francis Todd Jackson, a former friend of Kevin Hart's, as the main suspect behind the leaked video. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office charged Francis Todd Jackson, also known as Action Jackson, with attempting to extort and extortion by threatening letter. A statement from the DA read, "Jackson is accused of trying to extort an undisclosed amount of money from Hart between August 25th and August 30th, 2017. Jackson allegedly had a videotape of the actor with a woman in Las Vegas, and then is accused of trying to sell the recording to numerous celebrity news websites," prosecutors said. Jackson once played a minor role in one of Hart's movies, and the two were once close pals, which explains why Hart was surprised when he learned that Jackson was behind all his woes. In the wake of the revelations, Hart sent out a tweet, and though he didn't name Jackson in his post, Kevin expressed his shock at the turn of events. "I'm mind blown, hurt, at a loss for words, and simply in complete disbelief at the moment. Wow." With Jackson as the prime suspect, Montia Sabag went off everyone's radar, but she bounced back with a lawsuit against Hart. Her move surprised many fans because she had promised earlier that she wouldn't resort to the court. However, in a sharp twist of events, the model sued the comedian for $60 million. Among the accusations included intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and invasion of privacy. The suit explained that while sleeping with Hart in a Las Vegas hotel, the comedian recorded the entire act on video without the consent or knowledge of Sabag. Sabag then mentioned Action Jackson as a collaborator and the one who filmed the entire episode. The suit further stated that Hart leveraged the storm generated by the incident to promote his upcoming comedy tour. Fans who followed the situation flocked to social media to register their concerns. Some praised Sabag for maintaining her cool throughout the entire ordeal when they wrote, "It's wrong to record someone without consent. I applaud this young woman for keeping her cool throughout the ordeal. The culprit turned out to be Kevin's best friend, and I don't feel bad for him." Others thought that Sabag had no business with a married man in a hotel, and thus should face the consequences of her actions instead of playing the victim. They wrote, "The lawyer said she is the victim of a crime. If you were not putting yourself on the fire line sleeping with married men, you wouldn't be victimized." Some fans also found it wholesome to dig up Kevin Hart's past when they commented, "Lamau, didn't he cheat on his old wife with the new wife, and now she gets kinda cheated on? Don't trust these unloyal guys and girls." Another also wrote, "Once a cheater, always a cheater. He cheated on his original wife with his current wife. She knew it. If they do it with you, they'll do it to you. Pay up. Cheaters." Initially, the suit was thrown out of the court based on a few technicalities. According to Ray Dudgian, bodyguard of Hart, the suit was thrown at him and fell a few yards away. Sabag and her lawyer amended the suit filed again, this time in California. However, once again, the suit was dismissed without prejudice. meaning Sabag could file again if she wished. While Sabag's suit was having a hard time, Action Jackson, the main suspect behind Hart's leaked video, was cleared of all charges. Hart expressed his satisfaction with the news, stating that he could now put the case to rest. He then addressed the case, explaining that he wasn't happy with all the downs he'd been through, but life happens, and the best decision was to adjust to the changing tides. Look, it's no secret that my life has had its share of ups and downs. It definitely has, he said. Not proud of the downs at all, but of course that's life. Things happen. It's our job to adjust when they do. You know, they kind of put a fork in the road between him and I, and that relationship was lost. But I'm glad that now not only can I finally speak on it, but I can say I'm happy that that chapter of my life is over. I'm happy that we are able to put a period on that sentence, and I am excited to get back to life as we once knew it. Kevin Hart got back to life, and his wife stuck by him. The couple gave birth to their daughter, Tori Hart, on the 29th of September, and their joy knew bounds. Both parents announced the good news on social media amid many congratulatory messages from fans and well-wishers. However, all the smiles and celebrations were cut short when Hart's former assistant, Misha Shakes, alleged that he had cheated on his wife again. In a teaser for an interview on YouTuber Latasha Kibe's channel, Misha alleged that Hart was a serial cheater and a gambler. She also claimed that Kevin Hart secretly recorded one of his escapades, and the family of his victim was suing him for it. Hart's former assistant claimed that the comedian had several legal troubles and had to pay someone to take the fall for his DUI crimes. However, Hart sued the two ladies, claiming they attempted to extort $250,000 from him. In the suit, the comedian explained that his former assistant and the YouTuber asked him to pay the amount to prevent them from publishing the interview. His refusal to comply resulted in the interview making rounds on various social media platforms. According to the suit, when Hart was first contacted, his legal team responded by issuing a cease and desist order to the YouTuber Latasha Kibe. The legal team also warned her of a civil lawsuit should she continue to publish the material. The comedian then accused his ex-assistant of breaching confidentiality agreements and revealing sensitive business and personal information that could harm him. The suit accused his ex-assistant, Miesha, of making unfounded allegations and addressed several of the accusations she made in the interview. Latasha Kibe was also accused of extortion, intentional interference with contractual relations, and invasion of privacy. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time Kibe faced legal action resulting from her interviews on her YouTube channel. A few years ago, Kibe interviewed a man named Brother Bilal, who claimed that he walked up on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin making love. Brother Bilal, who claimed to be a former assistant of Will Smith, said, "I opened the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne having anal sex with Will." He continues, "There was a couch, and Will was bent over the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, nailing him. It was murder in there." However, Bilal couldn't substantiate his statements, and Latasha bore the brunt of the internet's anger as many fans criticized her for airing such allegations. When interviewed on The Breakfast Club, Jada Pinkett Smith, the wife of Will, denied Bilal's statements and threatened a lawsuit against Latasha Kibe. "Let me just say this," Pinkett Smith began. "It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And Bilal is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action," she said, "because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories. So that's actionable. So we gonna roll with that." In 2019, Cardi B brought up a suit against Kibe for publishing false and defamatory statements against her. In the suit, the rapper accused Kibe of calling her a and a substance abuser. She also alleged Cardi B cheated on her husband, contracting HPV and herpes in the process. Cardi B won the case, and a settlement of over $1.2 million was awarded against Latasha Kibe. So with how things stand, fans are unsure whether Kevin Hart is guilty of all that Misha Shakes has alleged. Given the storied history of Latasha Kibe, it could just be a ploy by her and Misha to drag the comedian's name in the mud while making some money off him. It is possible that Kevin Hart cheated on his wife, Eniko, and was desperate to cover his tracks because Eniko only gave him 3 strikes. Time will tell. For now, one person who might be having a good laugh is Torrei Hart. After all, she warned Eniko that whatever goes around comes around. And if she and Katt are looking for fodder for their comedic routines, Kevin Hart's life has provided plenty. Fans won't fault Tori Hart either because Kevin has used her in several of his routines on stage. In all this, one thing is for sure. Tori and Katt's shows will provide drama for the next few months, and fans can't wait. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.